No. And
what a vision!
He's got balls bigger than fucking Dallas, Texas. I mean, he's not. Yeah. He's not easily intimidated.
Because, when you're talking about your early days, you're going to these places and, the local people know, but it's kind of obscure nationwide. For someone to take wrestling, that was, there was always small shows on television, but to turn into something like the WWF, to have that vision, to be able to pull something like that off is pretty wild.
The most watched cable television program for, I think, like 28 years or something like that. The most watched
We just
thing
had the
on
30th
cable.
anniversary.
Yeah.
30 years.
Wow.
It's a record.
Yeah.
Every Monday. Boom, 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 boom. On a
People
Monday,
have tried to imitate that success with other organizations, but you really need a Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
You do?
You need a kingpin.
A long-term storyteller that sees things from weeks ahead.
Yeah.
Like what you do tonight. He's still, from what I understand, I read recently, he changed the script on a Monday night right before the whole taping, changed all the things around. And everybody's panicking like, oh, wow, he's changing all this stuff. But it's like for a reason. If something's happening, it's like how you could have planned your matches. You could do an act in stand-up comedy right down the barrel, but being present, listening to the crowd and feeling the stuff, and that's what he does.
Yeah, he just spends all day. I mean, he's so invested time-wise and mentally. I mean, to me, he's sharp as a tack. He had a chance, took a little break from it, but it gave him a chance to look at the product and then come back at it and fix what he thought was right or wrong.
One of my things.
And to me, he's entitled to do that.
Sure.
I mean, he owns it. I mean, he built it.
Yeah.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants. One of the things that I really admired was there was this one moment where he ran into the ring and he kind of like dove into the ring in a funny way and hit his thigh on the side of the ring and blew out his quad.
Both. Same time.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be there being a leader.
We thought he had a heart attack, a stroke. We're sitting there watching it. He tore them both at the same time.
That is so. See, you can find that.
Oh, it's
so crazy because the guy must be in fucking agony.
Yeah,
and he's still like present.
Well,
so he comes running out,
and he's supposed to be fixing this situation. You goddamn idiots! You don't know how to run a show. He's mad at both referees because they tied. So he's supposed to be the leader of this all right now, and then boom, now he can't stand up.
I mean, it doesn't even make sense how he blew them out like that. So he's sitting there and he's still in character. Well, he can't even fucking walk, and everybody else goes along with it. You realize something's wrong. So how do they realize, like, why he was sitting there?
They don't. They're just improvising, and he doesn't have enough time to tell them that he blew his quads. But what really is happening there is he's been in gorilla position for the pay-per-view for 3 hours. So he's been sitting in the back with headphones on, hitting a button, communicating to referees, communicating to camera guys, communicating to everything, making the entire production, everything.
Oh, yeah.
And then this thing wasn't actually supposed to go like that. They literally, at the end of that Royal Rumble, the two final people literally tied. If they did it 1,000 times, they wouldn't be able to land how they landed. They literally land at the same time. Never have, right?
Yeah.
It's just one in a billion. So the refs don't know what to do at all because they're watching the replay and they tied. And they tie, and no matter what angle you watch it from, it's a blatant. Again, they could have done it 1,000 times and they wouldn't have timed it like this. So Vince, improvising, has to get up out of this chair that he's been sitting in for hours. And he's like, okay, I'll go yell at them and tell them to restart it or whatever. But he's been sitting, controlling everything. So all the blood, here's how it happened, is all the blood is in his fucking brain. Yeah. And now he's going, I'm going to fix this. When he's coming down that ramp, throwing his jacket, there's nothing. He hasn't moved his legs in 3 hours. So that's how it happened.
But, he'll sit there and he'll wear the announcers out because he's talking to them in their headset as they're calling. You stupid son of a bitch. We don't say pro wrestling anymore. Sports entertainment.
Yeah, nonstop messing with the commentators.
Oh, it's unbelievable. No, it's entertainment, man. If you're sitting there watching it, he's having a guy bring him a Morton steak. He's eating a steak from Morton's. Drinking a protein drink and hollering at the announcers. It's the greatest thing you've ever seen.
Just controlling everything.
Did you ever have a match where you got injured like that?
It's either like or it's like, or it's when you walk back into the curtain. I've had a few of these in my day. He said to me one time, "80s heels don't draw. God damn it. I don't want to hear any more of that kiss stealing, wheeling, stealing shit."
Really? He told you, I don't want to hear any more of that kiss stealing, wheeling, dealing shit?
Yeah, yeah. And he goes, another time, another great story. I've got so many good ones about him. He goes, "Who taught you to take that slam off the top rope?" I went, "Harley Race." He goes, "Harley Race taught you that?" Okay. Nobody's going to tell Harley, right?
Right.
Harley would have been the king of the UFC, by the way, if he was alive.
Yeah?
With no training.
Really?
Oh, you have no idea. No idea. How
What do you
tough
look
Harley-
like? Show me a picture.
Yeah, Harley Race. Unbelievable.
Jamie will show me a picture.
Old schools. Old school.
No, listen, he's in a car wreck at 19. Kills his wife. Almost lost his left arm, right? So he's been in pro wrestling since he was 13. Okay, look at him. So they put a metal rod this thick, from here to here to save his arm. "Joe, my name's Harley Race. You got a problem with that?"
And he would hit you with this
Oh,
metal
I
rod.
mean, I've seen him. I mean, he headbutts you. I mean, bites you. I've seen him pull a guy's hair out of his head. He would have been a king of the UFC.
He bit guys?
I mean, there's no rule. Oh yeah, but hell yeah, look at him.
That looks like a man from another era.
Yeah, he is. He was. Can you imagine being in the business at age 13?
He was in the business at 13?
Yeah.
When did pro wrestling really start touring?
Listen,
in
we've
the United
had
States?
some really tough guys over the years.
Oh, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I don't mean UFC, as tough as they are, there's still rules.
Well, look at Brock Lesnar.
I'm talking about, real tough.
Brock Lesnar had very little MMA experience. He became
Yeah.
the heavyweight champion
Yeah.
and beat
Well,
Randy Couture.
Yeah, Brock is was our version of Harley Race today. But the difference is Brock wouldn't bite your nose off. I don't think he has it in him. And Brock wouldn't pull your eye out.
Pull your eye out.
Yeah, this guy, Harley, many times. Simple. Boom.
Ah.
He pulled guys' eyes out?
Yeah. I've seen it twice.
What, they got blinded, you mean?
Well, they lost their eye. Was hanging by a string. I don't know what happened to it. This is back in the 70s.
Jesus Christ.
You know,
Literally pulled their fucking
how cool
eye
it is,
out?
right?
Huh?
You know how cool it is, right?
Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah.
got a guy named
That's,
Haku.
that's a scary guy.